Africans in the UAE, please stop working for companies that don't provide you insurance. I mean, health insurance. And again, number two, please, Africans in the UAE, if you're on overstay and you're struggling on your own to survive based on street level, if you fall sick, please go back home peacefully when you're not feeling your body okay. When you start feeling like it's no longer giving, the body is no longer looking like a body, please go back home. I am emphasizing on this because should anything happen to you, it's the people you love, maybe your brothers and sisters, your parents, your children, who will suffer. And you will frustrate your neighbors, friends, and family members in the place you are or back home. They will feel so frustrated. They will suffer the more if anything goes wrong. I'm emphasizing on this because on Saturday night breaking Sunday, we lost an African sister, precisely a Cameroonian from Bayangi land. We lost this sister not from a sudden illness, but she has been sick for a very long time. She has been sick and the people around her have been begging her that, please sister, go back home. Go back home and treat yourself, then maybe come back. She didn't refuse to go back home. She wanted to go back home, but she didn't have enough money. And we all know the people back home are always expecting. If you come back home with nothing, they will laugh at you. But it's obvious, people will always talk. So sometimes let's ignore what people would think and face your life. If you are facing your life and the people around you keep talking about you, keep spreading rumors, false gossip about you, it's okay. Because they have forgotten about their own problems. They have carried your own on their head. This our sister wanted to go back to Cameroon, but she gave herself time that I'll go back to Cameroon in December. But December didn't wait for her. She was already sick for a very long time, and this illness have been eating her up. Her entire system was already down. It was already weak. And on Saturday, it was an unbearable condition, and her neighbors didn't even bother again about the fact that she didn't have health insurance. They didn't bother about the fact that she didn't have a visa. They called a taxi to take her to the hospital. Another thing I want us to learn from this, first, I want to appreciate all the people around her, all her neighbors that assisted her in one way or the other. I want to appreciate those that assisted to take her to the hospital using a taxi. May God bless you all. But I want you guys to learn something. And other viewers, please, other Africans in the UAE, having a health insurance or not, being on overstay or having your papers or not, please, whenever you find yourself in a difficult corner with a patient or an accident, whatever, the first thing you should do is call the ambulance. An ambulance should be number one. Don't think of anything else. Don't think of taxi. Even if you have your car, call an ambulance. Because these ambulance people, there will be nurses there, and they know how to administer first aid to sustain this person until they get to the hospital. But these are kind brothers and sisters. Took a taxi, and the driver himself was the one that told her, this situation, we need an ambulance. Then they called an ambulance. Trust me, it didn't take up to 2 minutes based on what I heard. The ambulance came, but they took her and just confirmed her that she was dead. Please, let's learn to call an ambulance. In the UAE and out of UAE. Europe and America, call an ambulance. Even in Africa, call an ambulance. It's a very sad situation because I know this our sister's mom will be in pain because her friends keep saying her mother kept on calling her, begging her to come home. But she wanted to go in December because she wanted to save a little money again that could maybe take her to another country when she treats herself. May her soul rest in peace. I don't know what is happening to her family members, especially her younger brother that she brought to this Dubai. I know the boy must be going through a lot. And I can imagine how frustrated her family members are right now, because the greatest problem they have now is transporting her corpse to Cameroon. It's a very sad situation, but I pray for those of us who are still in UAE, for those of us who are still alive and in the diaspora. Let's learn from her experience. Let's learn from what is happening to her right now. The first thing we should learn, it's good to have health insurance. And I know so many Africans are in this UAE working for companies that don't provide health insurance. It is a very bad thing. Number two, even if you're in the streets, based on street level, we understand. Please, when you start feeling your body that it is not okay, you're sick and it's not getting better, go back home, treat yourself, and come back to the UAE and continue based on street level, or get a legit job. And the third thing, let's learn to call the ambulance. Please. Ambulance is very important.